So, hello guys, hello, welcome back to the Football Corner. Welcome back to another video, another live stream, another show. And today is the day of all days, my people. Today is the day of all days because we have got none other than the Man United versus Arsenal build up at the Emirates Stadium. These men are coming to the carpet. I'm ready to break this game down. Man United have all types of news around them. Shambolic stuff is going on. I'm hearing Amrabat is missing. He doesn't know what's going on. Mental health is going down the drain. He doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, 2 million. They can't even pay it. We don't know, man. Where's all the money gone at Old Trafford in it? Where's the money gone? Glazers might know. Anyway, let's get into this, man. Let's get into this. Let's go. I can't wait to bring up my lovely panel, man. These guys, hey, listen, it's going to be a good stream today, guys. It's going to be a good stream. So let's get into it. Firstly, I got to bring out the Arsenal man them first, We can't be bringing out the Ops first, you know what I mean? We got to bring out the Arsenal man them first. I want to start off with my broski, the guy with the most knowledge about Arsenal, bro. This guy pulls knowledge out of his ass, bro. Just shits out knowledge, bro. It's just crazy. Just shits it out, bro. Yeah. Whenever he's talking about Arsenal, yeah, he'll bring you up something. He'll bring up an example from like 1980s, and he'll say, "Oh, compare that to this." Let me bring up the guy with all the knowledge, Mr. Sundev.
Wait.
Sundev, how you doing, my bro?
Going on, sad. Knowledge out my ass. Fuck you now.
Bro, you shit knowledge out, man. That's how much you got, my broski. That's how much you got, man. How you
just
doing, man?
age. That's just age and experience talking.
Exactly, man. Exactly. 100%, man.
What are you saying, bro?
I'm all good, man. I can't complain, man. I can't complain. I'm just ready
got
to
my
get
special
into
mug ready for this one, so I'm good for this chat.
I haven't got an Arsenal one. I got a Jamaica one in it, so it's we're moving a bit, islands and that. But yeah, let's carry on bringing the Arsenal man them out, man. Let's bring out the Arsenal man them out. I want to bring my next guy, broski, right here. Joshua, my guy. Hey, let's get him in here, man. Let's get him, man. Bye, broski, bro. How you doing, my broski?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just ready to get this shit going, man.
100%, bro. 100%. I bring up Mr. Rashid, man. Rashid, let's get him in here, man. Let's get him in here, man. Rashid, how you doing, my broski? You're on mute.
Yeah, bro, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. I can't complain, man. It's a beautiful evening right now, dark outside. I like the dark, I'm just a weird guy like that. But yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm gassed. I'm ready for this, man. I'm gassed.
Sad, that sounds properly weird. Sad, that sounds properly weird. I like the dark. What the fuck are you doing?
Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know why, man. I'm dark inside. That's probably why. All right. Let's get into this, man, because I think now is the time where we need to go out and we need to bring out the ops, yeah? We're going to have to bring out the ops.
It's about to get smelly in here.
Mate. I really can't, man. I really can't right now. I can't be asked, mate. I can't be asked for these guys. Hey, that. All right, listen. Let's start off, man. Let me first of all bring out the guy who I thought of first year when I was gonna do this thing, bro. Because this guy was chatting to me on Spaces. He's like, "Oh, you're a content creator now. You have to be edgy with the stuff you say. You have to create drama where drama isn't. You have to say these wild takes because you're trying to be in the content creator crew." So let me bring out Mr. Sheikh, yeah? Cheese! Let's bring him out, man. Look at this guy.
Emirates Part 2, let's go!
My car the Rashford celebration, yeah? Jeez.
What is that, the Saka celebration?
How you doing, man? How you doing, Sheikh?
Sure,
all right?
Oh, good, man. I'm ready.
You ready, yeah? Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I'm liking this fire from Sheikh.
Car, man. It's crazy, man. But yeah, let me go out. Let me bring out my next guest, Mr. Robbie. Robbie, how you doing, my broski?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Looking forward to this. Woke up 6 a.m. just for this shit. To see you lot talking shit. To see you lot talking shit. I mean, you guys are already bottling it. One guy forgot to mute off when he was talking. So I don't know. I don't know how you guys are going to perform on the Emirates, man.
Here we go. So the shamelessness has
Looking
started.
edgy.
Even a word.
Shameless.
Yeah? Shameless.
Even,
Top
even,
of the
even,
street, gang.
even in the
Started
intro,
Already
man.
started.
Oh, they didn't even get into the intro saying,
Yeah.
how you guys doing? Just
So
straight
this is
into
how
the
we're starting
shit
this
talk.
thing off. All right,
Yeah, play Robbie.
let me bring up the third and last but not least, man. How you doing,
Big
my
up,
bro?
big up, man.
Yeah,
Big
bro.
game this weekend. Can't miss it. I'm glad to be here as well. Big up yourself. Big
Yes,
up.
man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. All right, let me just quickly. How about let me do this, man? Let me do this. If there's a way, I can. Yeah. So you guys have to be like there because if there was a way where I could get all of the Arsenal man them at the top, I would do it, man. But unfortunately, StreamYard it has its capabilities, bro.
Be
They're
careful,
not there.
man. Don't
They're
fall
not there.
off the
They're not
tree.
there.
You know you're used to falling off trees.
So listen, let's get into this, man. So firstly, I do want to go to the Man United guys, man. I want one of you guys to just explain to me, or you guys can take turns, man. Someone explain to me what's going on with Man United right now. What is going on?
It's Glazonomics. You see, they want to somehow pocket all the money that they're making from transfers and use it for their own goods. If they do sell the club, we have fuck all left. I shouldn't even swear. We have nothing left.
Don't worry,
It's
man.
just, we have nothing left. They're trying to do this sell to buy crap. We already sold 2 midfielders or 1 midfielder. We've sold players already. So I don't know what's going on here. They said Amrabat was meant to be for 50 mil. They said 30 mil. They said 25. They said 21. They said loan obligation to buy. And these men are saying 2 million in installments. Like, we can't win. So let me tell you, man, that we're a finished club in terms of our owners. You should understand where we're coming from. But it is what it is. We just got to keep on moving and do our thing. And hopefully our man just got our back this season. That's all I can say.
Sheikh Robbie, who wants to go next, man?
All I can say is, man, enjoy this moment, Arsenal fans, because you see when I get them rich owners, baby. Oh, you ain't gonna be winning these derbies no more. So enjoy it while it lasts, innit?
This guy, man, I swear to God, man, it's the most shameless thing ever. Robbie, what you saying, man? Just let me know, man. What's going on? Man? What's happening?
I see a lot happening on Twitter. A lot of comments going on when we do, like, people forget a lion is always a lion. Just because he steps back a bit doesn't mean he's not a lion anymore. So we're waiting. We're starting slow. We're starting slow, but we'll get there. Don't worry. You guys enjoy. Like Sheikh said, enjoy the ride. Take the banter. But we all know what happened last season as well. Last season, you guys were enjoying the banter, and then who had the last laugh? We had the last laugh because you guys bottled it. So this season, same thing. Just don't get too cocky. That's all I'm saying. Don't get too cocky. Remain humble.
Don't worry, man. Listen, the thing is, I'm gonna start off, guys, for the Arsenal owners. Let me just start off quick, because the thing is, I'm humble. Yeah, I'm humble. When it comes to fighting for the title, I'm humble. I've been a bit laid back this
Wait, Sad, you're saying you were humble when you were humble when you're fighting for the title.
No. This season when we're fighting for the title, this season.
Just clarifying, because someone told me last season hundreds and thousands and hundreds. I'm just bringing it up. Because
Robbie right now, you see how I pulled him out, pulled his fan base out right now. He's on the defensive. You know, he come out here with boxing gloves. Yeah, he's ready to do the little duck dive bow.
It's 6 a.m. I'm still getting into it.
There's no hits right now, man. You know what I mean? I'm moving like a Damachoore. You know when they oil him up and you just I'm just dodging, bro. Even if you hit me,
careful you don't fall off the tree, innit? Just be careful.
Gone, man. Gone. But listen, I'll be real. I've been a bit laid back this season. I haven't really been going crazy, overreacting. You know, the normal stuff. When it comes to, like, obviously Arsenal in this whole league, trying to chase the league, trying to win this league, innit? So I'm not really gonna overreact too much, because I feel like I've learned a lot from last season, innit? Because last season I kind of got too gassed, too, in the belief of it. And obviously you do that when you're that far ahead, innit? You don't think that you're gonna, like,
house settings, yeah.
Caught up. Yeah, but you don't. The thing is, you don't think that you're gonna get caught out, and yeah, unfortunately we did. But this season, man, I'll be real. I see good signs, but also see some worrying signs. But we're gonna talk about all of that in this show, man. But I don't know if any of the other Arsenal man want to go.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's funny. Like I get it, the United fans, they're moving a little humble now, just because they've been fed by their owners, by the club, by their manager, whoever you want to say has done it, and whoever you want to be. Like, it took them all of 30 seconds to fucking bring up the Glazers, which is hilarious. The Norwich flags might come out soon, but let's be honest. When we were in the dumps, I know you man was stepping on our necks. You was at there look at Arsenal and this shit. You was tuning into AFTV, laughing there with your popcorn and your Coke and your Dr. Peppers. So, Robbie, it ain't about being humble right now. It's just about seeing you guys in the shit. Lord knows we fucking been there and done that and got that T-shirt, and we've just finally traded it in for a proper T-shirt. So, it's always humble things, isn't it? Like, to be fair, like banter aside, I love Sheikh, I love Robbie. Like, you boys talk the most. It's like I say banter aside, shamelessness aside. When you guys had that, I won't say the scoreline, but when you had that particular result at Anfield last season, you boys were about it. Like, you boys were there taking it, like lick after lick, punch after punch. So I've got ultimate respect for these two. Like, just from the bat, we'll start there. But this game on Sunday, fuck you. Fucking bring it on. Like, it is win at all costs. I don't want to draw. I don't want to lose. I want to fucking humble them on the pitch, because that's what this game is. This is a proper rivalry. The Arsenal Man U defined the Premiership rivalry, and it has been a thing that, like, when the fixtures come out at the beginning of the season, this is one of the fixtures I'm looking at, like, right off the bat. So yeah, like, fuck, I want to win this game bad on Sunday. And I'm going to say that out loud, because, yeah, when you catch me in Spaces on Monday, like, I'm going to be either really, really happy, or I'm going to be like, miserable. Fuck.
Yeah, 100%. Jashmon?
Yeah, listen, man, listen. Like Sundef said, man, shout out to the United fans that show up and whatnot. But like I said, fuck you guys on Sunday, not going to lie. Whatever's going on with your club, I don't know. You guys can't afford $2 million apparently anymore. You guys are trying to pay $2 million in installments right now. I swear that's what I'm understanding. Hey, Sheikh, go ahead. Show me the scoreline at the end of the game. What was that scoreline at the end of the game, Sheikh?
Lucky goal, man. Lucky goal.
But listen, man, it's always a good game when you guys come to the Emirates, because you guys always shithouse some sort of result to make it close, even though it really shouldn't even be close. You guys always manage to do that, regardless of how shit your team is. But I think that this Sunday, you guys are missing quite literally everybody. Everybody you want fit, it seems to not be fit. It looks like you're gonna rock up with a makeshift team, basically. And so Sunday, I'm expecting us to thrash you guys, especially after the performance we had against Fulham. I'm expecting us to thrash you guys, wholeheartedly thrash you guys. That's just the expectation. And all jokes aside, it's sad to see that you guys are falling the way you guys are falling. The big United can't even afford a loan fee anymore. This is pathetic. I'm sorry. All jokes aside, this is sad. So listen, I'm just looking forward to the game on Sunday.
This is coming from a team that got rejected by 2 players and went to Chelsea. All right, yeah, big Arsenal. Okay, anyways.
Hold on. So wait.
Oh, sad. Don't even.
It's fine. It's fine, because we're gonna save those comments in it. We're gonna save those comments.
Yeah, 100%.
Because best believe, I'm gonna go to my broski Rashid. I'm gonna let Rashid speak, because I have respect. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let him speak, and then I'm gonna roast these, man. So it's fine. Rashid, how you feeling about this game, man? How you feeling about this weekend, man?
This is the rivalry. This is the rivalry of the Premier League, historically, as well as, well, obviously, it's not been really a rivalry in the last few years. I'd say the last decade. That's down to both of us, really. Us not really stepping up and doing what we should be doing as clubs. But right now, looking at how United are, on paper, Arsenal should win that game. But we all know that the game isn't played on paper. So there's always that risk that Man United, whatever it's a referee decision or some luck or whatever, it like you're saying, it could be a closer game than what it should be. But I don't know, I think even United fans would have to admit that they're worried with regards to the personnel that they've got available for Sunday.
Hell
Not at
no,
all. No,
bro.
you're not worried.
No Luke Shaw, aka the Yo-Yo Dieter. Yeah,
There
give
we
it
go.
It's
the freedom of the
advantage
Emirates.
us. Advantage
Come on,
us.
come on now,
Advantage
come
to
on now.
United. No Luke Shaw
About it.
playing.
Wait,
Really.
No Yo-Yo
Luke
Dieter
Shaw,
in my
that's
team,
it.
man.
The thing is, it's so funny though.
Who are you
It's
guys
so
missing?
funny because
Now we're missing
Shaw,
Varane, we're
Luke
missing
Shaw,
Luke
Varane,
Shaw.
Varane,
Mason Mount.
it's crazy. Don't even name Mason Mount,
Okay,
man.
so
He would
what?
have been a plus if he started.
So sincerely, when you're thinking about the players that you haven't got available, as well as the ones that are not informed so far this season, you're not worried about how you guys
But
are
it's
going to
not.
perform on Sunday. Not at
I'll
all.
be honest
It's not about inform though. It's nothing
Forget
about
all
inform.
that. Form
to be fair-
goes out the window.
to be
Yeah?
fair
We
though,
don't
yeah.
play friendlies against Arsenal. We don't
To,
do
to,
that.
to be fair, yeah, last season when we went to the Emirates, everyone was expecting us to get pumped, and we left there with a 3-2 loss. So,
Lucky goal as well.
like you,
Yeah, but
like,
you say that, but like that you'll admit that after that, like the back end of the first half, the whole second half, like that scoreline absolutely flattered like the United.
yeah, but of course, but at the end of the day, we didn't lose like 5-2, which was what everyone was expecting, and we could have easily won the game had we made better subs, or not even one, taken a draw if we made better subs, or we just had a few better players with better decision making. So, like I said, like somebody said earlier, form goes out of the window in this specific game. Anyone can win. Like I said, we're not the favourites for this. I'm not going to give you smack, but to sit there and say I'm obviously worried. No.
But
I'm not worried about anything.
you know, just to the Man United fans, because obviously you've got Luke Shaw out. You're missing Luke Shaw. You're missing Varane now for 6 weeks. You got Mason Mount who's out, and I'll be real. I'm not even going to be shameless. I feel like that's a plus for you guys because
Which one?
Mason Mount. I feel like him being away from that team and Ten Hag not being able to play him is a plus for you guys in regards to. I just think Eriksen just fits a bit better in that midfield.
No, but I think that's edgy for us. The Mount is not available. I'm gonna be real. That I know people have been mocking him. I know United fans. I've been here and there about in spaces and looking and hearing stuff. And I know that people are saying, "Oh, Mount is not suitable. Mount is not suitable." But people are forgetting that these three guys, Casemiro, Bruno, and Mount, they're playing with each other for the first time. Yes, they've had preseason, but it's not like consistent. They don't understand how they like. Only Casemiro and Bruno probably understand how they play. Mount doesn't. So you see Mount running around like a headless chicken at times. But you got to give this three some time when you're playing in that midfield, which requires a lot of where there's a lot of expectations for you to create chances, to win the midfield battle, to cut off the passes from the other team and whatnot. It takes time to gel and get together. Yes, you may argue that other teams are doing well, but like other teams do it faster, but not every player is the same. So I feel like even though Eriksen is good, we had him over the weekend. We looked like I guess we looked more settled in the midfield because they have played with each other last season. But I think for the Arsenal game, I would have preferred someone like Mount in the midfield rather than Eriksen because of the energy that he brings in. Because that will be key. Like at the end of the day, it comes down to the battle on the field, right? You need guys to step up to give in that 100% throughout the game. Because if you take your foot off the pedal for either of the team, that's it. You're gonna lose that battle and probably.
But having said that, Rob,
Can I ask?
Me personally, might be a bit of an unpopular opinion amongst the Man United fans. This is a game for Scott McTominay to start in that midfield. I
agree with that. Rather than Eriksen, I would put McTominay. I agree because he gives the physicality.
Yeah,
but the problem is
because Robbie, because like the way Sheikh says it is because you know you're going to sit back and absorb pressure in it. Like that's the kind of like transitional football that United always play against. Like Fergie, like unashamedly would admit, like when Wenger used to rock up with like the swashbuckling football that we would play, with like my Americanism in there. Like, when Wenger used to pop up and play against like United, Fergie was unapologetic because I am going to foul, cut, and commit murder as best I possibly can because I know I can't beat them. Which, like it, love it, or hate it, like it's the way that you play football. So I mean, I agree personally. I think for me, the way I see this game for United at least is it's a win-win for you. Like there are, funnily enough, for being the bigger club, there are zero expectations on United to come out of anything in this game in itself, just because of like what Arsenal have done in what we did last season, how we kind of created like almost like a rod for our own back. The fact that we went in from last season into the summer and made some like statement signings and did it early, and like have a settled team for the most part. So like the pressure is on Arsenal going into this game, because best believe if we win that game, it's going to be, well, they should have won it anyway. Whereas if United win that game, we are going to get absolutely sort of like, how have we let this team that is in the mud beat this team that is like on its way to a process? And like that for me is like, for you, I'd rather be United fans' position in that sense going into Sunday, because they're going in with zero expectations. Like as an Arsenal fan, I am going fully in thinking we've got like Rashid said, the team on paper is much better. But like from a tactics point of view, I think Ten Hag and Arteta for the first 3 games are in a very similar position in my opinion. But just as like the game itself, I'd rather be in United fans' shoes than an Arsenal fan, because the expectation is on us to win and to win big.
Yeah.
Sundar, buddy, just quickly, yeah. I just noticed you said that you'd rather be in United's position. So does that mean that Arsenal fans don't like the pressure of winning anymore? They can't take it anymore.
No.
Please, let me jump in.
I'd rather be. No, I know you're back.
Innocent question.
I'd rather be United fans' positions, just because I hate going into football games like with expectation, and like nobody should come into a football game because anything can happen on the day itself.
And I think all banter aside, like Sundar has been saying, this lack of pressure on United will filter down to the players, because again, we're going into that game as underdogs, whereas all week the media, even the run up to like let's say Friday on the weekend, everyone's going to be talking about us after winning this game. Whereas United, if we don't win, like Sundar said, it's not the end of the world. Like there's not going to be a deep thread of what went wrong. Whereas if we somehow manage to steal 3 points and Rashford does this celebration, it's gonna be a long week.
Listen. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think that, like Sundar said, obviously, that you'd much rather be in a position where, like for instance, when we go up to Anfield or anytime we go up to City, I don't have any expectations. I just want us to go in and be competent, because I just want us to go out and show something. So last season when we got that draw at Anfield, despite us holding that lead, you could say we choked it. I was happy with that because we weren't on the end of a 5-0. So, it's one of those things where, it all lines up. And this result, and I'm just thinking of it. This result shows so much that you guys will come with the shittiest team you could have put out this season, basically. And I swear this will be tight. This might be even tighter than the Fulham game. And that was somewhat tight. So I don't know. It's like, I'm nervous, but I'm not nervous at the same time. I expect us to score within the first 10 minutes against you guys, because I feel like we can put you under enough pressure to where somebody will fold in that back line. But in the same token, I wouldn't be shocked if you guys came in, if Rashford does what he does again, if something like that similar happens, where you guys just come and hit us, we do a silly mistake within the first half an hour, and you guys score from it and go into halftime 1-0 up. That wouldn't shock me either.
But can I ask about Rashford from the United guys? How are you guys feeling about him first 3 games? Because looking at his stats, he got 1 assist.
I think you know what.
How are you guys feeling about his performance?
Do you know what? With Rashford, it's a bit like Saka. I think they've started off a bit slow. It's not a cause for concern for me per se yet. I think once I get to about 6-7 games, if he's not scored, then I'm like, okay, what's going on there? But for now, obviously the first couple of games he was playing out of position. Obviously there was a heated debate in the spaces about whether it should matter or not. But for me, he's better off on that left-hand side with a striker to help him. So I think going into the weekend, Martial played last week. I'm expecting again that combination there to bear fruition for us.
I just want to quickly just ask a quick question, because I've got the fixtures up here, and obviously with the injuries that you have and going into your not just the Arsenal game, but going into the next, I'm just looking at the next 7 games that you have. and I just want to understand how many points you got, because your next games are as follows. So you got Arsenal the weekend, you got Brighton next week, then you got the whole international break thing, and then you got Burnley, Crystal Palace. Yeah, I think you get 3 points there. Burnley, I think they'll give you a good game. I'll be real. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. I feel like Burnley are going to give a lot of teams a good game, even though I know they got smashed by was it Aston Villa that smashed them?
I think so.
Even though they
it was Aston Villa at home.
give a lot of teams a good game, but you got Crystal Palace, Brentford. Listen, Brentford are a weird team right now. Like they can have games where they're a bit stale, but then they can also have games where they're amazing. They look like they're playing out of their skin, even without Tony being there. Then you got Sheffield United. Then the 7th game is Manchester City, Manchester Derby. Now I think you should have Varane back by that time.
Is it home or away?
Good news
It's
for
at
me.
home.
No, Varane is out. They're saying he's out for what, 6 weeks or some shit.
It's a home
You should
game.
have him back by then.
It's a
For
home
that
game. Yeah.
game because obviously I'm adding in the international break, which I believe is a week, is it? Or
Like a week
So
and a
we've
bit.
got 2, I think. Two.
Yeah, a
2
week and a bit.
Probably 2
2
weeks.
weeks, yeah. So we got the international break as well as the time off. So I think Varane will be back for that game, which is obviously important for you guys. But I'm just looking at it. I see you guys probably getting like 6 points out of that lineup right there of games, because it's going to be difficult for you guys right now, unless you manage to pick the right teams and puts the right midfield together in order to tackle these games. Because right now it's way too, even against Nottingham Forest, you looked very like there was an easy counter attack towards the start of games, and it's some teams, if you give them those goals at the start of games, you're not going to be able to get those goals back the way you got them against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, but do you know I disagree though, because we play Brighton in that run. I'm not saying we're gonna go there smashing up, but I'm pretty sure that's a home game.
Yeah,
And they play into our hands, and we will basically they can't play against low block teams or teams that counter attack on the transition. As you saw against who they get beat by? West Ham, wasn't it?
Yeah, West
On
Ham.
the transition, they just get
And they got beat
hitting them
well.
on the break. So I actually think we could actually beat them, and I think after that, the games after that, I think we could actually win. It's only the only thing we're going to struggle with is breaking down low blocks and obviously beating City. But if we can take maximum points from, let's say, after Arsenal to City, I think that's a good run. We've only then lost to City, and then we've beaten Palace, we've beaten Forest, we've beaten Wolves. Like beating the teams you need to do is to get us to where we need to be, which is I think top four anyway.
And for me, looking at it, everybody from the time that he joined the club, Robbie would know this. Everybody's been talking about this Ten Hag football. I think, again, going into the second season, he's quickly identified, listen, whatever little style of football I'm trying to do, I haven't got the players for. So now it's about getting the results. So for me, he's going to set up his team in a way to get 3 points. So whether that's the scrappy 1-0s here and there, that's what I'm expecting to see. So for me, I think, Brighton, that should be a hard game, but for me, really and truly, I'm expecting more than 6 points. And anything after the Arsenal game that's up to the City game, that's less than that, I would be disappointed.
But that's what
So you saying?
I was about to ask Sheikh a question earlier. I was about to ask Sheikh, like the way Saad is talking about us, I feel like we are at the bottom of the league at the moment and we got nothing coming up. And it's like the 30th game of the season where United are dead and buried. It's not that. It's like what Sheikh said, it takes time for Ten Hag to sort of get his system in. And it's the pressure is on him to sort of make it work. But I feel like this season is going to be, like Sheikh was saying, it's going to be like a roller coaster ride. There's going to be times where we're going to do a smash and grab and we're not going to look good. And there are going to be times where we will probably play good football in the second half or majority of the game. Like I think Nottingham Forest, we played well in the second half, which is why we ended up, coming back 3-2. And for Rashford, just quickly on him, like it's a guy, I think he likes the ball on his feet. He likes to touch the ball. He likes to be involved in the game. And when he's not involved, that's where he sort of like gets frustrated really quickly. So it's like a baby throwing, their prams out of the toy. That's what I feel happens with Rashford most of the time. And you saw that when we played him on the left against Nottingham Forest, he just looked like he was back at it. He was taking on players. He was trying to make things happen. But when he plays up front, he's more quiet. And I think that's something that Ten Hag needs to work on. Like, how is he going to make that work and make him like less frustrated?
But saying that, Robbie, yeah, I think this weekend's a perfect game for him, especially if he goes up against his little dance partner, Benjamin
100%. 100%. I think
Can I-
this is
can I-
one game. Yeah, sorry, go for it. You wanted to ask a question. My bad.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because, like, it sounds like what you're saying is that Ten Hag at the moment is being very pragmatic. He's not necessarily playing Ten Hag football right now because he hasn't got the personnel to implement Ten Hag football every single match, right? So I kind of see similarities with Manchester United and Arsenal in terms of where they are right now at the beginning of the season. And I know they're not at the same stage of their process, I should say. But it looks like, for me personally, if I look at both teams and try to be objective, both sets of fans had like expectations at some point during last season of maybe achieving more than what was achieved, right? And there's a little bit of PTSD with regards to that. I've said that about the Arsenal fan base, that there's a little bit of PTSD, especially with during Timber. We've lost a defender very early on, and we all know what happened last time we lost a defender last season. Basically, we just fell off a cliff, right? So I kind of see both managers in the same, at similar or same levels of pressure. Some of it being put on themselves because, you know, they've got an image that they want to form their teams into, and they don't necessarily have the tools to execute that right now. Would you say that's a fair assessment of like how your team is, especially from the manager's perspective?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think as we've seen in the last 24 hours with our search for a midfielder, that Ten Hag from the start of the window identified certain players that he wanted, didn't get. Let's say he had plan A, didn't get plan A, didn't get plan B, and now we're looking at like plan C's and plan D's for midfield options. I think, again, we signed a striker that unfortunately has not been able to play games. So that's also affected the style of how he wants his team to play and press. As we know, Rashford's, I don't think one of his biggest strengths is pressing from the front. So I think, again, like I said before, Ten Hag quickly has realised, actually, I need maybe another window, another season before I can implement this Ten Hag football. So right now,
So you guys have got imbalance, you'd say, yeah, in the squad.
Yeah, definitely.
They're still
that's like a common theme. Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Because
some people say imbalance. I just don't think we have that many good players. I'll be real with you. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't rate most of our players, and until I know it's going to come back to the same saying, until we do get these new owners in, it's not going to change because we're trying to penny pinch. Like Sheikh said, we had a first target, so he didn't get that. Second, third, fourth, and now we're on to fourth and fifth, and you're not even trying to pay out the money for that. And the players that you're doing, you're trying to adapt. Ten Hag is trying to adapt to the players he currently has instead of trying to do what he wants to do, but he needs to obviously understand that they're just not good enough. So it's just not going to change until then.
Just to follow up, do you think Ten Hag football will never fully be implemented until the Glazers are out?
Yes.
I
think it would be. I think it would be, right? Because like the club has shown to a certain extent that they are spending the money to get him the players that he wants. If we go by the theory that Mason Mount is the player he wanted, Holland is the player that he wanted. I think the main point, the main thing that really works against Ten Hag is the way he performed with the squad that he had last season, because he exceeded everyone's expectations, including United fans. So now when you have that ceiling that you have set with average players or the players that I guess none of us, including the rivals, rated that we could finish third or win a trophy, he's gone on and done that. And now for this season, people are expecting, okay, he has to push on now because he's done that. But people are forgetting that it's like he was working with shit and he made it into gold. But at the end of the day, it is still shit. This season, he's cleared majority of that shit, and he has part gold and part shit. So there's going to be that roller coaster ride.
Yeah. Sorry, for me,
And it's just golden. It's just golden colored. It's still
Exactly.
And for me, like the biggest thing for me, it's not even who owns Man United. It's who does that ownership bring with them. So currently, when I look at my recruitment team, I look at my board members, and I look at my manager. It's like all three are going in different directions. So they will want, for example, last season it was obvious we chased Frankie De Jong all window. There was no similar profile. Yes, there was no similar profile to Frankie, bro. We then ended up with Casemiro, a destroyer. So it's like Ten Hag's saying, "This is what I want." Then the recruitment team, the scouting network, they say, "No, this is what you should get." And then in between, Ten Hag's like, "Okay, if you're not gonna give me anything, this is what I gotta take." But again, when you look at who he's actually targeted, so even this window with the centre back situation, waiting ages made no sense.
Guys,
is that the setup you've got there, though?
Yeah, so for me,
just really quickly, is that the setup you've got, like a director of football that picks the players?
So we don't have
Ten Hag makes sense.
Yeah. So we don't have a director of football per se. It's more so John Murto sits with Ten Hag, and then they sit with a scouting team, whatever, and then they try to do it in unison. But it's not unified. It's like everybody's fractured in their own different areas.
Well, guys, I'm just gonna move on because I want to move on to the Arsenal section. Obviously, can't just keep on talking about United.
But there's nothing to talk about Arsenal, though.
No, there's plenty.
No, I'm joking, bro. I'm joking.
There's plenty. We need to break down a lot of things.
Hey, there's a subject on Arsenal that you have to discuss. By the way, it's your £65 million signing that everyone in the fan base is cooking.
Bro,
you need to dissect
that
it.
shadow of that's coming up. That's coming up. It's coming up, bro.
That's the perfect place to start, to be honest.
Hey,
really?
Side note,
really? Why don't we start in the back? Why don't we start in the back?
Side note.
Oh, you know what? That's a much better idea, Rashid. Actually, let's start off in the defense.
Yeah.
And then we'll move up the pitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. So I'm gonna start off with the defense, yeah, because I feel like this formation that we're in, of course, we're holding the ball more, but we also are inviting a lot of pressure. We're inviting a lot of pressure. So just for me, I'm not really enjoying the fact that we're sitting there inviting pressure onto us, where although we're dominating in possession and trying to create shots, it feels like the players ain't really sticking to it. They ain't really understanding it. Obviously, there's time to try it out a bit more, try it out in like a cup game, try it out in like, I just feel like the Premier League is just way too important for us right now, for us to be experimenting in the Premier League. And I know you have to try and experiment in these games because you're going to have the Champions League coming up soon and all of that. But for me, I'm just looking to experiment in like the lower games, you know what I mean? Just not the really important ones, like where I'm trying to go for this title. So I ain't got time to be wasting drawing to Fulham and all that. So for me, the defense right now, as quickly as we can, if we go back to the formation that we played last season, I feel like it's gonna be night and day, and I believe that's what's gonna happen against Man United, to be honest. But we'll get to the formations that are gonna be for the games anyway. But yeah, that's just my thought on the back line, to be honest.
Yeah.
So like my quick question would be, so I'm hearing the rumblings, and there's still a couple, maybe 24, 48 hours left of the window. What's happening with Gabriel Magalhaes? What's going on there, man?
He's not leaving, man. He's not leaving.
Yeah.
He's going nowhere.
I thought he was one of the best defenders along with Saliba, and now he's sitting on the bench and warming up.
Yeah,
no, because
bench.
It's
those two things can still be correct.
He's not.
He can be one of the best defenders last year for us and still sit on the bench this season. Like, you have to understand, because once you get to a level where your first team is good, yeah, or to a certain level, then you start to improve the backups, and then you start to improve your squad overall, your squad depth. So you start to you might see players on the like on the odd occasion, like if we bring in another right winger, then bro, we're gonna see Saka on the bench at times. And
But why is he starting Thomas Partey instead of Gabriel like that? That just
Well,
it doesn't make sense.
if you look at what we were doing preseason before Timber got injured, what Arteta, and you can see it clearly, what he's trying to do is that the back line would be Ramsdale, Raya, you have Saliba, Ben White, you have fully fit squad, Tomiyasu, White, and Timber on that right side. You have Gabriel, Kivior, and Saliba on the left side who can all do that, and then you have on the left back Zinchenko, Kivior, and Timber. So his main idea, if I'm saying a fully fit back line, I say Ramsdale, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko.
Ramsdale over Raya.
Now, I'm just saying based on, because we haven't seen Raya even play for us yet, right? So I can't.
But he's definitely better than what Ramsdale has been doing.
Listen. Everybody here knows my opinion on Ramsdale. You know what I'm saying? But listen, we haven't seen Raya start for us or play for us yet, so I can't sit here and say him over Ramsdale. So one thing is that, you know, with this idea of an inverted right back that we see Partey doing, that's what Timber was doing from left back, but the idea is for him to do it from right back. So we have two inverting fullbacks at once that can both do it. So, you know, I can see where he's trying to see if the system will work, period, which it is, because if you watch the games, we're creating chances. The problem isn't the creating chances bit. We're creating plenty. We're just not putting them away. Like the Fulham game, you ended 2-2, but we take half of our chances. It ends 5-2. Just half of them. It's 5-2. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's just a bunch of new players playing in a new system, gelling together, and that over time it's going to click. But I do, like Saad said, I do see on Sunday that we revert back to last year, because this isn't one of those games where you can sit here and risk us, you know, fucking around and end up dropping all 3 points. So
yeah,
I think he's going to stick to the same squad. I think he's going to do the same thing against United, just out of arrogance, and because he has that pep traits as well, where he likes to switch things around and just come up with stuff and try to show like, oh look, I can get this in. So I feel like he's going to do the same thing against Emirates, and if he does that, then yeah, it might just be long days for you guys for the rest until you guys meet us in the next fixture, which is next year.
I completely disagree, to be honest, because I don't see him revert. I don't see him sticking with that same formation against a big team, because we saw that against Man City. Why did he not play against Man City? So we know already that he's got different types of ways to approach a bigger game, you know, against a bigger opponent. Obviously, we've played 3 smaller teams. I'm not going to say they're crap teams. I'm just going to say they're smaller teams, and he's approached them all in the same way. And when we played City, we approached them in a completely different way. So yeah, I'm being so real. I feel like we're gonna go. Firstly, we're not gonna see David Raya. I can guarantee you that now. It would be absolutely stupid if Arteta generally just threw him in there against Man United. He's not familiar with his defense yet. He's not. Oh, we just got some breaking news. Apparently, you lot are preparing a formal bid for Sufyan Amrabat.
They're gonna cough up to $2 million this time, not in installments, guys.
Apparently, it's not even a loan.
Don't talk about a loan. Come on, you lot saying broke boys, yeah.
You're the last.
Don't worry, man. Let's
the last set of fans that should be talking about money, yeah.
Robbie,
Sundev, you know about this Johnny Manziel celebration, man.
Bro, do you not understand? Yeah, you have to wait until the check clears, bro. Yeah,
right. That check bounces, bro. That's fraud.
And it bounces. You lot are stuck here holding up your hands like this. I don't know where the money's gone.
Are you speaking from experience? Are you speaking from experience?
Nah, but do you know what it is? Robbie, do you know what it is? At least we got bantered for like splitting up payments of £72 million, innit? You're fucking bargaining over £2 million loan fee.
Hey, listen, I know it ain't the club that bid 40 million on £1 on a player talking.
Wait, that was a long time ago, innit? That was a long time.
That's still the same spot. That's still after, isn't it?
But Sheikh, that goes back to my original comment. Like, listen, we've been in the fucking mud. Like, we've got that T-shirt framed. It is firmly on the wall that we will never forget. Like where we were, like when we were doing shit like that. Like, and it's mad how like a player with a release clause in his contract, we still couldn't get that shit over. Like, what's hilarious is that's exactly where you're at now. Like you are like fucking bargaining with a Serie A team over a £2 million loan fee.
But I think Sunday, like respectfully, I think the difference where we are at with this situation, I know it's like funny for the rivals, but for me, it just shows to me that something's happening behind the scenes with potentially a change of ownership, because they've stripped down everything. Like they've stripped it down to literally one in, one out.
Jake, like I'll tell you this, like without going into corporate world too much. I work in a corporate world. Like when you're getting ready for a merger and or an acquisition, you don't start stripping back. You go in even harder and you start spending money because you want to look profitable. So if you're hanging your hat on the fact that you think, oh, the Glazers are tidying up house and they're trying to make sure they're not overspending or seem to be overspending, that's not how a company that's about to be purchased operates. It's just not how.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and obviously from like my perspective, working a corporate job as well, I get it. Yeah. However, for me, the Glazers are a totally different beast. For them, it's all about money. So to them,
Arsenal were the exact same. Like it was all about money for the Kroenkes, to the point where they diluted the Arsenal football brand so they could get Arsenal on a very, very cheap price point, right? Like they absolutely threw what we had as a club, footballing wise, out of the window because they wanted to get Usmanov out of there. And they never wanted to turn a profit, because if they turned a profit, that meant that, in their eyes, that prick turned a profit. So I look 100%. I hear it.
But you lot at least had your stadium as an excuse. You could at least use that and be like, the reason why we couldn't buy is because we have bought a new stadium. We don't even have that excuse. I think it's just literally penny pinching, because they always know, that Man United is such a big club that they can haggle with the price for. Because at the end of the day, whoever the next owners are, they know that if they come correct, the amount of P's they make from this club, if they do the right things, is going to be outrageous. Because again, if Man United start winning, you see all those City records that you see for money and income, we will smash all of them. So
you already smashed all of those.
Exactly.
That's the one thing about United, that like you sit like, and like using the stadium, I think is a goodish example. The fact of the matter is that like you have revenue that you can use, and I think like Mook's making the point about FFP. Technically, you've like your revenue is beyond any other club in the whole of the like in England, because your revenue is so high. And so like the FFP issues coming up now shows that there is like huge negligence and incompetence at Manchester United, that this is even a question for Manchester United right now.
100%.
But this was Sundar, but this was bound to happen as well. We've known that as United fans. It's just that people from outside, they don't see it because they're like, oh yeah, United is spending the monies. But the problem is we're spending the money, but we are not actually doing anything to recoup the money or balance the books in any ways.
Right,
half of our players are leaving either on free or on like 5 to 10 million. I think the most expensive guy that we've probably sold.
Robbie, I think. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I think the most expensive player was Andres Pereira or something that we sold, I think, to Fulham. That's probably the. Lukaku was probably the only one, 90 million. I don't even want
to go as far as back as Andres Pereira. I just look at this summer. I look at my rivals, Chelsea, the youth academy, sold well. Arsenal today, they sold a player over £30 million from their academy. Man City are about to sell to Chelsea for over £40 million, and they've been selling. This summer, we sold academy players ranging from £1 million. I think the maximum is Dean Henderson, 15 million with a +5 add-on. So there's incompetence everywhere within Manchester United.
Yeah, the problem with United is you guys are essentially going through what we went through a few years ago, where you have no sellable assets. Nobody wants your players to begin with. So you're either stuck playing to raise their value a bit in the hope somebody comes in. If you're hoping that somebody the likes of Maguire has a decent half a season, and in January somebody comes in and swoops in for a loan bid with an option to buy. And the stuff with the academy bit, I fully expect the likes of United, because I'm used to that, to be producing somewhat decent academy products. Who you guys really haven't, nothing's really come out of your academy recently. Of note. So you don't have any sellable assets in your academy either. So it's like your club, like you guys, it's just been badly run. Like there's nothing. Ironically, it was run by bankers, and your club is financially in the shits right now. So
in an ideal world,
we've got people. I think we've got people that have come out of the academy, but it's just, I suppose, like they've either come out at the wrong time when we've had players in the first team where they can't actually get in, or they are actually playing now with the likes of Garnacho and Pellistri. Like Pellistri can't really come in now because there is people on the right wing that, unfortunately or fortunately, because of his age, Ten Hag is not going to force him into the first 11 as much as we all want to see him. We know that that's not going to happen because he doesn't put the young players under pressure. And we had Kobe Manu as well. He's also come from the academy. So there are players coming from the academy, but the problem is the first 11 that's there, you can't just take them out and put a youngster in. Yes, at sometimes, like the likes of Saka and Rashford, yes, they sort of move, get on it, and they do well they go on and do well, right? They thrive under the pressure. But then we also have examples like Macheda, where he was there for like 3-4 games, and now like nobody remembers him except for that one goal against Aston Villa, which got us the league. That's
But
Sorry, I
away from like club status.
I got some breaking news. Sorry, Sandev. I got some breaking news, man. Brighton are on literally. It's about to be accepted for them to get Ansu Fati on loan from Barcelona. Wow. I'm telling you right now, yeah. If he goes to Brighton, this guy is going to kill it. Just based on how they play and how good they look. Sorry, Sandev.
Don't do that. Like Brighton, Brighton are a good team, but they play with zero expectations.
Yeah.
They don't come into a season like how Arsenal, Man U, or Man City's or Liverpool's come into a season like there should be an expectation to win. It's like, oh, look at plucky little Brighton, they're having a good season. I'd like Ansu Fati goes there.
Good signing for them though.
Yeah, 100%, good signing for them. But like, it's for him to like prove his fitness, build up, give himself 1 year to get back, because he's just been so injury prone. So it's to kind of build himself up. But like, I kind of want to move away from like club. Sorry, Sada. Like, I want to talk about, like, I've been asking this question in spaces of United fans. So we've got Dami, Sheikh, and Robbie here. Like, you asked about the Arsenal team. So Ten Hag has had, since you played on Saturday, Sunday would have been off day, Monday would have been the first day. What team do you think he has been preparing this United team to face? I.e., who does he think Arsenal are going to play as are going to use as their starting lineup for this game on Sunday?
Oh, that's a good question. Personally, I think it's a team similar team that we faced last year, potentially, obviously with the addition of Declan Rice. I think Partey does go back into his best position as the 6. So I'm expecting to see maybe Declan Rice, Odegaard, and Partey midfield 3. I think for his aggression and like his leadership ability, Gabriel has to start that game for you guys. Zidane back in his normal position. I think, for me personally, I would drop Ben White, because every time he goes against Rashford, it's not a good side team. It's not. Even going back.
I heard you say that earlier. Like, do you think so? The goal he got at the carpet in January was because of a mad touch from Partey. But other than that, like, he skinned him a couple of times.
It's Bandy. I think with that, remember he got the yellow card as well. So I'm pretty sure I have to take him out quite quickly.
He brought in Tomiyasu at the beginning of the second half. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so, and I go back to his Brighton days. I go back to his, even that time when we played Leeds, like him 1v1 against Rashford, it never ends well for him.
It's like Saka play. It's like how you're happy that Shaw's out.
Exactly.
Rinses him.
So for me, for that game, because it's such a big game, I would go Saliba and Gabriel, and then whoever you can play.
Exactly. See, that's the problem. If we're supposed to be reverting back to a normal system, Ben White's really the only guy, because Tomiyasu, his suspension's up, right? It was just one game.
Yeah, it's just the one game.
So we could throw in Tomiyasu now, but you see, the problem with that is like you said, I honestly, and I'm going to be honest, I think we go the normal back line like last season, but I think that Partey's dropped, Rice goes in his position, and I think Havertz still starts. I think Arteta's still going to put him in there, because these are the games you purchased him for. You purchased him for these sorts of games. For these big fixtures.
I agree, Josh. I think if United go with Scott McTominay in the middle, and they're trying to add that physicality, then you need somebody like.
What about you? I know he hasn't played since God knows when, because he hasn't really done any preseason. But I'm just thinking this is ahead of myself. If we can get Amrabat in before the game and he's registered to play, why don't you just play him in?
Way
Because
too
look,
early.
no, no, do you know what
Really?
it is?
Yeah, that's way
Really?
too early.
Nah.
Listen, man, I'm desperate. I'm desperate.
That's beyond desperate.
I-
This
That's
brother is
It's not gonna
starving.
happen. It's not
unrealistic.
gonna happen.
I don't want to see McTominay play
Unrealistic.
ever again, and I don't want to
Damn
see
it, I
Eriksen
was-
But
play.
for me,
Damn
you
it,
know
I was
what?
gonna say if you do
you
that,
know-
it smells of desperation. You're
Yeah,
fucking
no,
desperate.
But
But it's-
for me, it's not even about desperation. I think the key battle is in that midfield. Whoever can somewhat have a stranglehold in that midfield,
yeah,
it will go to that team. So for me, that's why I'm saying,
Well,
like, I like Ericsson. Like, I love the comeback story, but my brother, hold the bench. Hold the flipping bench.
But I'm not gonna lie. I can see Eriksen
last time
starting.
we were having, but last time we were having the whole talk about Partey against Casemiro. So we're gonna have that now, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
They're both available, right? So we're gonna have
Unless
that now. We're gonna fight.
unless
taking a season.
Partey is played on the
Guys,
right back.
can I just quickly say one thing? Sorry, can I just say one thing? Because I think Dami's got to go. Dami's got to go now. So I'm just gonna quickly get his just on the record, so we have it on the record. Yeah, just your starting 11 that you'd go with and your prediction, please.
okay. So my starting 11
Yeah,
for
these guys in a bit.
for us here, it has to be Anana, Cucurella, because I think he's going to sign by then. It's going to be Lindelof, Martinez, Wan-Bissaka. It's going to be, like you said, McTominay, probably Bruno, Casemiro. I'd probably even say if you can somehow get Eriksen in this team, but you can't have 4 of those guys in the same team.
You'd have to push Bruno to the
Bruno
right.
to the right, yeah, exactly. You
Yeah,
push Bruno
but
to the right and get
Don't want to
Eriksen.
do that. Though.
Real quick.
But I just don't think he's good there anyway. But Anthony, Rashford, Martial, that's my team for the game.
So
And you know what? I'm going to back the boys here and just say 2-2. 2-2.
I'm gonna back the boys to a draw.
Wait. One thing you don't do, David. One thing you don't do is you don't act. You don't show these guys that you're worried or we're gonna get a draw. Have some chest, bro. Just go for it. Don't worry.
There you are.
Yeah,
There you are.
it was nice meeting you on.
No worries, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for coming, my bro.
Be about on Monday, innit? Be about on Monday.
Oh yeah, I'll be back. Yeah.
Be there.
So yeah, sorry guys. I know I kind of blocked you guys from the news about that conversation, but you know what? Yeah, I do want to bring up one topic, yeah, because I was speaking about it. I've been on other live streams and been cooked about it, so I want to speak about Kai Havertz, man. I want to speak about it because
Cool.
I don't know what are we doing, man? What's going on? What's going on with Kai Havertz? Do we give him time? Do we start questioning? Like
He's you can tell.
And
Like,
you have to nominate who's somebody you want to answer that question.
I
All 3 of us, all 4 of us are going to come up with different answers.
and we'll go to each of the Arsenal fans.
Listen, Kai Havertz, you can see based the first, he could have had an assist last game. Could have had a couple assists the game before. So you know he's one of those players where you can tell that his brain is there. He's that Arteta type player. He wants a player who has the IQ and understands the game. But holy shit! Sorry, my bad. Big ass wasp just popped up in my face. But you know, Havertz is one of those players, bro, where you can just tell he has zero confidence left in him. And I was saying this in spaces from before. If we brought Havertz straight from Leverkusen, I think he doesn't come off as poor as he does now. But I think because you can call it PTSD from Chelsea. Because last game Saka whipped the ball in. If Havertz just kept running up, if he kept running, he could have kneed the ball in, but he just stopped, and that's a lack of confidence. Like you can just tell he's short of it, and so I think that he's getting into the right places. He's showing that he can do it. Bar that back pass that he did to fucking Declan Rice, bar that one back pass, he's actually performed. If you're holding him to the standard of that left midfielder, he's doing it well. He's doing that what he can do. He's offering that alternate transition that if we want to hoof it up to somebody, we can hoof it up to him because he can hold the ball up. And he's 6'4"? So, you know, he's doing what I'm expecting him to do. He's supposed to be that Xhaka replacement, but he's supposed to be a more attack-minded Xhaka. So and he's getting into those positions. He's just not putting the ball in the back of the net. So I'm gonna give him a few. Still gonna give him obviously I'm gonna give him the season. Because but you know what? Speaking of, real quick, I know this is divergent from Havertz and I might be talking a lot, but Vieira, real quick, Vieira, I could throw in that Vieira probably might start this game because of that cameo. He came in, won the penalty, and got an assist. And that cross, by the way, that was pinpoint. So listen, yeah. So listen,
Nah,
I saw the cross, yeah.
fair
I saw
enough.
the cross, and I'll be honest. If it was a better defender, that could have been defended.
But I mean, it
The
wasn't.
cross.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can sit
Yeah,
there.
if there was,
It
but it's not.
wasn't.
No. I'm just saying. I'm not taking anything away from him. What I'm saying is the way it's been, because I saw the madness. Everyone was like, "Oh fuck, Vieira! Look at this! Oh my god, what!" So I ended up watching the game, and I was like, okay, let's have a look at what he did, and I saw that cross, and I'm like, it's not as world class as what people were trying to make it out to be. It's a decent cross, and it got in fair enough to him, but. If you think that's going to make him start against United, and if he's going to do the same thing, then yeah, you guys are doing the same thing you did last season when you were telling me you're winning the league.
I love Robert's.
My bad. What it is though is that it's not us. It's merit, right? It's like Nketiah shouldn't have been dropped for last game, right? I know people will sit there. There are certain people who say this stuff. He shouldn't have been dropped based on his form, based on what he's been doing. He should be in the starting lineup. Jesus and Trossard, they should be working their way back into this team, right? If we're gonna do what Arteta says we're gonna do. And Vieira, based on what he did last game, came on, won a penalty. He was influential in us getting 2 goals, right? And the only other person is Havertz. As much as I may like the guy, he didn't have the direct output. Vieira did. So logic tells you Vieira should be slotting in that position next game.
Yeah, but I mean that's an easy narrative. Like, so for me personally, like, the whole Havertz conversation is like it's a funny one. Right? So we saw 50 minutes of football where Arteta had the players in the formation that he liked. So like losing Timber, I don't want to give too much credit to Timber, but like, that opening 50 minutes against Nottingham Forest, we were fucking phenomenal. There was no question about Partey playing right back, because even though Nottingham Forest were playing with an absolute low block, we still found a way to like fight through it and beat their low block and score 2 goals. We went to shit as soon as Timber went off in that game. And then albeit like a great run by Ilanga on their left, our right, like beat Partey on the right, got them that goal. So it made it look like a closer game than it actually was, in my opinion. So we went from having like all this goal threat in the first 50 minutes of that Nottingham Forest game. Timber got injured and it went to shit. Crystal Palace, now Fulham, we've tried the same, but you're missing like one very much. Even Crystal Palace, in my opinion, like again, we were playing phenomenal football. Like we had Crystal Palace the whole game up until Tomiyasu got sent off at arm's length. We were jabbing. Like they were not going to land a glove on us until then. An outside factor ruined how we were then playing that game because Tomiyasu got sent off. Fulham, we had neither Timber nor Tomiyasu, and so it did look a bit flat, and it looked a little like the players didn't know what they were doing. And so, like me personally, do you remember the interview that Arteta did with Jamie Carragher from Monday Night Football a while ago? I was watching a video that like pointed it out. Yeah, like I think he did it just after December, like around the time the World Cup was like finishing up.
Yeah.
Arteta sat down and did like this little like chat with Jamie Carragher. I was watching another video and they pointed out where like Arteta says you have to. It's not about just winning games. You have to merit winning games, and that's on him as the coach. And I think in those first 2 games against Forest and Crystal Palace, up until we lost Timber, up until we lost Tomiyasu, we merited those wins because we were, by the stretch of the imagination, we were by far the better team. Fulham was a bit of a weird one because if you cut out obviously what ifs, I hate them, but like had we not made those individual errors, Fulham again had like no way of like scoring. Their XG was 0.39 or 0.46, and they got 2 goals at it. Like, it's nuts. So
I think though what Sonder was saying touches on a point that's similar to United in terms of Timber was very, very crucial to what you lot was trying to do over the preseason, and even against Man City and then 15 minutes against Forest, you saw it. And with United, it was the same with Kobe Mainoo. Like I know I don't want to put pressure on a kid, but during the preseason, it's very, very clear that he was trying to figure out, and that been taken away has forced both managers to try and kind of adapt and figure it out in these 3 games that they've played so far.
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to say the exact same thing. I think Rashid even said it earlier that like in the process in this season, the first 3 games, I feel like Arteta and Ten Hag are like in very similar positions, but in very, very different boats. Like Ten Hag is trying to figure out a system in a team that just isn't there. Arteta went from having this team that was playing probably the most exciting football at the beginning of the Premier League last season. We got 50 points in the first 19 games, where everybody was like, holy shit, like who is this Arsenal football team and where have they come from? To now, like the opening 3 games, it's like, where's that gone? Like there's no excitement. It's all very like horseshoe football, and it all just feels a little bit stale. So like they're in the same position but solving for very different solutions, different problems for trying to find different solutions. So for me, I personally don't like the party at right back experiment. Yeah. Get him the fuck out of there. Play him in his stronger position because he's not a fullback. Like, he's not going to be running up and down the wing because he doesn't have the legs for it. He's a midfielder by trade. Yeah, he might have done it at Atletico Madrid, but doing a fullback role in Spain is very different to doing it in the Premier League. The intensity is like through the roof. So get Partey out of the right back position, put him back in the middle of the park, do a double pivot with Declan Rice, Ødegaard, and I think for that reason alone, Kai Havertz doesn't start. And I think the question then that Arteta's got is, does he go with Eddie up front or does he go with Jesus? Me personally, I think he goes with Eddie because Jesus has just come back from like that knee injury. You don't want to risk him in such a high-profile game where it's going to be
with the Champions League coming up as well.
Yeah, it's going to be hell to leather. It's like why risk impact? And Eddie, in all fairness, has been our best player this season so far. Like I don't care what any Arsenal fan says. You can rag him for his like what you think he is or isn't. He has been by far and away our best football player on the pitch. Like he is.
He's got 3 goals and 1 assist, hasn't he? Isn't it 3? Yeah. I think it's 3 goals and 1 assist that he's got in
he's got 2 goals and 1 assist. Sorry. So he's got 1.5 goal contributions every. Sorry, he's got a goal contribution every 1.5 games. Assist or goal.
You know, Rashid, I just want to go to you as well. I just want to get your thought process on obviously Kai Havertz, the team, how you're feeling going into this game, and what the team that we're going to possibly play. But obviously, we'll get your starting 11 as well. But
I'll be honest with you, Sad. You know, there's been a lot of craziness, a circus really about the whole Havertz thing. Me personally, I don't quite understand it. The guy hasn't been given anywhere near enough time to get used to the Arsenal way of playing, to get used to being with a manager such as Arteta. I go back to Rice's comments about Arteta, which I've posted. Rice clearly hasn't been with a manager anything like Arteta before. Now, that could translate to almost every single player in the squad. When you look at Havertz's time at Chelsea, that's been really turbulent. So managers in, owners in, managers out, owners out. It's been for a player who clearly looks like he is someone that thrives on having a manager really trust him, put his arm around his shoulder, a confidence player, that's going to maybe knock it out of him. Now, I'll go back to what happened in the pre-season. He got pelters for the MLS, whatever you want to call it. It's like...
skills challenge. Skills challenge.
He got pelters for that. Then the next game, the next day or the next game, he scores. But you need to look at his face when he scores. It doesn't look like a guy that's happy. And for me, that's quite telling that it's going to take quite a while for Havertz to get the confidence such that he's going to be firing the way that Havertz has the potential to. And then when you actually look at his age, he's so similar in age to a lot of our young players. But the pressure that's gone on Havertz
the same age as Saka, I think.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
he's 21. 21.
No, I think he's older.
No, he's in the 23.
He's 24.
23, 24, yeah.
Is he 24?
Yeah.
So he
was 21.
Okay, so he's a similar age to Ødegaard.
No, he joined Chelsea as a 21-year-old.
Oh, my bad. That's probably why he's 21.
Well, there you go. So look at what. So imagine that. And Chelsea has been, for the last few years, an absolute circus. And I mean no disrespect to Chelsea when I say that. The facts speak for themselves. 2 different owners. I don't know how many different managers you've had in that time, maybe 4, I don't know. For a 21-year-old coming into that new country,
when COVID
new
happened.
league,
Yeah.
there you go, COVID as well. There's a lot that might have knocked him.
And I think saying what she just said is something to do with a lot of the Chelsea players that have been sold this summer. It's not more so about their talent; it's more so the psychological side, whether they've been damaged to a point beyond repair. Because it's similar with Mason Mount. I'm not questioning.
This is why there's so much similarities with both squads. Even when you go down to players that you've acquired over the summer, you've got Mount, who's, and I mean no disrespect to him, but clearly was not happy with the way that he left Chelsea. Didn't feel that he was valued, and finally got his move to Manchester United. I don't even know if he really wants to be there. And I mean no disrespect to Man United when I say that. It's just that Mount clearly was a poster boy for Chelsea. And then you've got Havertz, who moved.
He was the future captain. Yeah. Mason Mount was the one that they were going to like, and they did him like. And I always ask a question I ask anybody is, like, you want to talk about Kai Havertz at Chelsea for the past 3 years? Name me one, and I can probably name you one. But if you guys can name me one single player at Chelsea that has stood out and been quality, that argument carries water. But like, there has not been, other than probably Thiago Silva.
Nobody else.
That's probably
You know what? And
Thiago Silva's probably because he's just built different. Thiago Silva has won everything. He's come in there a seasoned professional. It's like, the things that are not going to phase him. But remember his first like few games in at Chelsea. Remember, this man was straight dog shit, bro. Yeah. His first few games, he was dog shit.
But then he needs to adapt as well. He's coming from PSG. He's coming from a French league. He's coming from a French league at his age, and he's going to the EPL. It's going to take time for him to get used to the pace and understand.
Yeah, exactly. But over in the longer term, like that, Thiago Silva has been their one player. Like, every time he plays against Arsenal, I'm like, if Chelsea didn't have Silva, this would have been an absolute spanking because he is everywhere on that pitch for them. So like, that whole argument that like, oh, he's been dog shit at Chelsea for the past 3 years. Every fucking player has been dog shit at Chelsea for the past 3 years. So that argument is like, it doesn't carry any water for me in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion.
Okay, so but going back to Havertz,
I just wanted to say something because this comment right here where you said who's starting up front side, this is from a stream that I done actually on Sunday night and I just want to get you guys' thoughts process on this because I've done a stream on Hassam's channel where obviously we were talking about the game coming up and stuff. And I pretty much put my neck out on the line because they seem to think that he's still going to go with the same formation, party at right back. With this, I said to them that he is going to go with obviously Ramsdale in goal, back line of obviously this isn't the formation that I wanted. I'm just going to tell you guys what I think Arteta is going to go with. He's going to go with the back line of Ben White, centre back of Gabriel and Saliba, left back Zinchenko. Then in the midfield, he's going to go with Partey, Rice, and Ødegaard. I think he's going to go left wing Martinelli, right wing Saka, and I actually think he's not even going to play Eddie or Jesus. I think he's going to put Havertz in that centre forward spot. I truly believe that is what he's going to go with, and they even wrote it down. And Hassam said, "You're coming back because if he doesn't play that formation, we're coming after him." So that I truly believe that's what he's going to do in that game.
The only difference I've got with your formation and mine is I swapped Havertz for Nketiah. That's the only difference. I see the team picking itself basically from last season, really, and obviously with the addition of Rice. But apart from that, but I can see the logic in having Havertz there, as Sundev was saying earlier. If there's going to be a physical battle in the midfield, he'll come in and help out. So
I can't see him not start. I can't see him with the way that that Arteta this season has looked towards Havertz in every single game. I can't see him not starting him. So obviously, when it comes to Havertz, this season he's had good games, but it looks like he's learning from he's gone back to square one, and he's relearning football again under Arteta. If you look at it, basically the performance we saw against Fulham, I feel like that's just his old Chelsea side. And I know it's people joke like that and say, "Oh yeah, that's the Chelsea in him," but like that stuff that performance looked like how he was at times at Chelsea. Just passes just didn't go anywhere. He looked a bit lazy, he looked lackluster with his performance. He was just strolling around. But in the two other games, I can't really say he had a bad game. He didn't have a great game where he was scoring and assisting, and obviously the stuff that really puts him on the chart for having a good game or getting player of the match or anything. But he's still won his duels, and he was top tier, like top three in progressive passes, pushing the ball forward and doing what he needs to do as a midfielder. But in my opinion, I feel like we need to, that formation that we played against Fulham, the three at the back with Thomas Partey inverting as a right back into the midfield. I completely think that formation suits Fabio Vieira and Nketiah. It needs a striker, a goal-scoring striker, and Fabio Vieira suits that formation perfectly because he came in and it's like we finally found a formation that suits him and gets the best out of his play style. But when it comes to the normal formation that we play with, obviously the 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3-1 that we normally play, I feel like that's where Havertz is going to come in, because I feel like that's the real plan that Arteta's got for him. Either playing him as a centre forward, kind of not necessarily a centre forward, but just like a free role. Like
Shall I tell you why I disagree?
Go on.
He's not going to play Havertz up top because United. So the reason he played Havertz up top against Man City, say for example, in the Community Shield, was because City are a high pressing football team, so they will press you up to your box, and so he used Havertz as an outlet. It almost had like what City did to us last season at the Carpet, where they used Haaland as an outlet. Man U are actually going to drop off quite deep. And so for that reason and that reason alone, I think he'll go with Eddie up top because we're not going to be playing that many long balls that Havertz is going to have to fight for. And if we've got Partey in the middle, Rice will be further up. Rice can actually fight for those balls if we ever have to go for the long ball option, in my opinion. So I genuinely think he goes with Eddie up top, and I hope he's a ruthless bastard, because if he drops Kai Havertz for this game, we're talking about confidence.
Wake up.
Well, we're talking about confidence, and so if he drops Havertz for this game, that's what you think that's going to do to his confidence. Like the one game where like it's a big game and he's dropped me. So
yeah, but Sundev, so I think Arteta's got enough already, with his time with Havertz, that Havertz is going to know. Listen, I understand why I'm not starting. I know what the plan. I know what the plan is with me and the manager for the rest of the season. We need the 3 points, and the manager thinks this is the starting 11 that's got the best chance of getting the 3 points. He must have enough of that already.
Yeah, no, I agree. But we've been around long enough where you know full well that if Kai Havertz is dropped for this game, like the articles and the think pieces that are going to come out after it are the ones that are going to live online. Like we don't. So for all of this discussion we've had, we're still all ignorant to like the conversations that Mikel Arteta has had with the team about this new formation. Like, we have no idea about these conversations, and Arteta hasn't said anything about this formation other than the fact that he, in his opinion, thinks the system is working better than last season. And he used the Fulham game as the barometer, because this time last season we played Fulham, we had more shots on goal. Oh my goodness.
10 times better.
His comments are crazy sad. Like, what the hell?
I know.
It's too funny. I'm telling you.
But like for me, I agree with you, Rashid. I think Havertz will have confidence in Arteta. But like when it comes down to like the articles, this is how people sell stuff. Like it has to be like recency bias. It has to be over the top criticism, because that's what sells in it. And so that's what is going to be living in the real world. Because we don't hear the conversations behind the scenes, unfortunately. Which I this
is why I hope the players don't get involved in the press, in the media. They just block all of that out. Because honestly, I think if you're going to go through a 9-month 38 game season, pretty much anywhere in the table. As a player, I don't think you can get yourself invested in the press and the media. That's just it's just counterproductive to what you're going to try to do.
It's easier said than done, though. I think.
Of course,
this
I know.
generation of players, they're just not built like that. Like we saw recently, Rio coming out with talking about how Gabriel DM'd him, telling him about why he criticizing me, blah blah blah. Like they see it, or if they don't see it, the media team see it, or their family members see it, and then it gets.
You know what's interesting about that one is I really wanted to know what the follow through was with regards to that. Okay, Gabriel doesn't understand what Rio's trying to say. Yeah, that's what the end of the story was. Okay, so say it another way. Have a face to face or whatever. Get on the phone. I
think he probably did that. Knowing Rio Ferdinand, he probably did that as well. Once a player DMs him about a criticism, I'm pretty sure he would have linked up or something and just explained what he meant. Because a lot of times, I think he's one of those guys who does explain his position here and there every single time he makes a comment on players, especially on his channel and all that stuff. So, but yeah, the Kai Havertz one is pretty interesting. If he starts against United, I would think that he would start Eddie, because Eddie has been on form every time he's played against United. He's looked really good. He's looked up for the challenge.
Who would you prefer to face?
Havertz.
Who would you prefer to face, Robbie? Havertz, yeah? Okay.
Havertz. If you give me Havertz, this is gonna be me before the game.
Yeah, Havertz all day.
Really?
You know the reason I say that.
Yeah, give me Havertz. Oh, give me Havertz.
The reason I say Havertz is not because I don't rate him as a player or whatnot, but if you look at it in terms of the hunger, and if you look at it in terms of the player in form against us, it's been Eddie. He's looked like a guy who's on a mission, because he's one of those guys who's been told no matter what you do, you're going to start off the bench, and he's trying to prove a point. Yeah. And when that happens, and what's like the last two games, he's already proven a point when he's come off the bench and he scored. Now imagine if he comes up against United, he's going to start with the fire. But I think Arteta is probably going to. I think Arteta will start him, but I would prefer Havertz over him anytime.
But Robbie, the way that Arteta's been waxing lyrical about Eddie in training, I think 2 press conferences ago he was saying that there's no way I could have left him out. The guy's training like a beast. He's telling me there is no way I'm not starting. And I go back to the Amazon documentary when he had this conversation with, I think it's Lokonga, and he was like, explaining to him, well, everybody wants to start. You're not the only one who's like not happy being on the bench. Don't think it's just, don't be so sort of self-centered when it comes to that situation that you're feeling. Just get on with it. And I think Eddie has every season. He's shown that he's making the efforts to improve himself and to be a good headache for the manager. So I mean,
the fun thing is actually, I think we said this when we played United last season when Eddie got those goals. I don't think Jesus gets those goals. Those are Eddie-made goals, and Jesus isn't going to be in the position to get. That's no knock on Jesus. He's just a very, very different kind of striker. So, personally, I think. I also want to give Havertz the benefit of the doubt, just purely because we haven't had Zinchenko in the team on that left-hand side. We haven't had Jesus helping out on the left-hand side the way we know Jesus does. So even for the most part, I think it's funny. Everybody's calling Martinelli crap all of a sudden, because even he's playing on a side in a football team that is in complete flux at the moment, which is I think the most frustrating thing about the Arsenal team at the moment is that we looked like we had a formula that was working, and now we're trying to overcorrect almost and that's the bit for me that
this is my major concern with Arsenal.
Yeah, I hope
Arteta just major concern of Arsenal now.
Yeah, I hope Arteta goes back to what he did against Man City, but instead of Havertz up top, he plays Eddie. That for me would be perfect. If that's that's the team that walks out at the Emirates on Sunday. Oof.
Yeah,
and if it is meritorious, then Eddie Nketiah should start.
You're right.
He's been the best forward player.
Sheikh, can you sense the nervousness in the fans, in the Arsenal
What?
fan base? Yeah,
Feel it. I see it in Sunday's
started.
face,
It
man.
started from here. Yeah, it started
I
from
know,
here,
I
like
feel
these
the
lot,
tension.
and now it's
What are
like
these
here.
I
ones?
feel
What?
it.
Okay,
What?
okay.
Hold
It's
on.
That's a
like
nervous
it's
tension.
like it's going
let
Two
downwards.
settings.
me just get you
Please.
lot. Let me just get you lot to the next bit because right now you're about to see how we start to pump out our chest. Yeah, because the next bit is the starting 11s and the predictions.
You know
Because
the
listen,
chest, yeah,
I'm
inflatable
gonna let
chest,
you
yeah,
guys go first. Innit?
inflatable chest,
What?
inflatable
United
chest,
or
yeah.
Arsenal?
Huh?
Who do you want to go first? United.
So let me get the United guys because there's only two of you now. There's
Cool.
only two of you. You know, you're outnumbered, bro. You're on the up. I mean, it's going crazy.
We don't
Hear
need
what you're
numbers,
saying,
man.
man.
We don't need numbers.
Um,
Yeah. Sheikh, you go first, man.
Calm. Obviously, the goalkeeper picks himself. Andre Onana. I'd have to go Lissandro and Lindelof. Maguire, you can sit and rot on that bench. I would go with Dallo at left back, one at right back. I don't think that's a game for Corella to start again. Not that he's not a good player. I think psychologically we might need to, give him a bit of counselling based on the Chelsea wreckage that was last season. Midfield, like I said, I'm all about making it the most haram football that you can get. So McTominay has to start for me. Casemiro has to start, and Bruno. And then my front three, Rashford on the left, Martial for me has to start. We need a focal point. And yeah, Anthony, a toss up between Anthony and Sancho. I'm not really bothered who starts on that right.
Fair enough. We'll go to Robbie next because next Man United game, man. Let's see what you got, man. Oh, we didn't even get your prediction.
My prediction.
Yeah, man. What do you think is gonna happen, man? Come on.
Let me just get it. Can you not see that? Let me just bring that.
Oh, take that off the screen, man.
No, I'm
Take
joking.
that off
I'm
the
joking.
screen,
Sorry,
man.
I have to bring it
Ain't
back.
nobody want to see that.
How many years? It's been how many years?
Ain't nobody want to see that.
Banter aside, I think
You might see me in the crowd, man.
I think 2-1 Man United.
What?
2-1, yeah?
2-1. I think 2-1. We get away with it. With a smash and grab job, yeah.
Okay.
Robbie, what you saying?
I think
bro?
mine is Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Martinez, Lindelof, and Dallo. Midfield. This is going to be a difficult one. I would say Casemiro, Scott McTominay, and Bruno. And at the front three, I would probably put you got Anthony, Rashford, and Sancho. So Sancho plays that false 9 up top. I don't think Martial is fit enough. Looking at him last game, he didn't seem up for it. So I think he'll be better off. Him and Eriksen would be better off coming up as subs because of the way the game would be. I think it's going to be a physical game, and you need players to last the whole game. You can't get anyone switching off. I think it's gonna be one of those. I think it might be a. Oh man. Yeah, I think it might be a 3-2 to United.
They're both going for the smashing game.
Yes,
3-2 to United. I think it's gonna be one of those really intense games where it's gonna go back and forth. I don't think these guys are playing. These two managers are going to play chess. They're going to go for it because at the moment, I think Arsenal needs to prove a point after what happened with Fulham, and Ten Hag wants to prove a point that the players can do the job after Nottingham Forest when we came back 3-2. So I think it's going to be a 3-2 win for us.
No, fair enough. Let me go to
by the way, they just pulled out the third round draw for the Carabao Cup. Newcastle got Man City at home at St James's. It's a funny round 3.
Oh, have you heard that youngster from Man City? He's joining Chelsea.
They're buying everyone.
Yeah, 40 million.
They're buying everyone now.
Yeah, they're buying everyone, man.
Whoever it is, they got a couple minutes under their belt. Yeah, let's buy them for 50 million.
Scored in the UEFA Cup final. Scored in the
Carabao Cup aside, I like that Sheikh and Robbie have still back the team better than Dami did. That they're going for the smash and grab.
No, it's always a smash and grab. I'm pretty realistic. I know this season it's going to be similar to last season. There's going to be smash and grab. Like, it's very rare that you come across teams, for example, like the Tottenham manager. I think he's done if anyone believes in miracles, I think that guy has shown miracles, because the way Tottenham was playing last week, I was like, how has this guy gotten them to play like this? And how is our manager struggling to get this team going? So,
And you know what it is for me? Like I said, man, when I get the fixture list, the 2 games I look out for every year: Arsenal, Liverpool. Don't care about my little brothers, Man City, that much, bro. So for me, I don't care what you do, whatever form you're in, you better go to the Emirates and put in a performance and come back with
100%.
You
points.
know what, Sheikh? I'm not gonna lie. Before I move to Jashman, little brother's been causing a ruckus up in Manchester.
They've been moving mad, didn't it?
Yeah. Little bro's on protein shakes. Little bro's on protein shakes doing 2 sessions a day in the gym.
I know, man.
Well, I heard
But
he was
then-
out in Europe, bro, doing stag
No,
do's.
Saad.
Easy,
Sad. But the thing is, as an elder brother, you always have to allow your younger brother to shine. And I think
Exactly.
Sunday Fadi would know that. You need to let your younger brother come up sometimes as well. You know, let them have some
But you can't-
respect as well.
Yeah, but you can't let them embarrass you, though.
Yeah.
No, no,
There's-
we're letting them have their
Let the
time.
little brother come up a little bit, but you got to like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
All right,
Robbie,
they're
what you
in for
got?
the humbling soon,
You
man.
know,
Yeah,
you know how you let
117.
them play on FIFA and you see them battering.
Yeah.
You still got to go and hit them with the 5-0 on FIFA to say, you know,
We did.
you're
We
good,
did
you're
last
not that
season.
good.
We did last season. We
Alright.
did it last season. When they came to Old Trafford, we showed them. We're like, calm down. You're not there yet. It's fine.
That was the ultimate smash and grab, and the referees getting involved in that one. Like that was United. That was a United trademark win written.
That was Fergie. That was Fergie Sunday. The brown envelope, man.
I like how when the referee decisions comes against us, yeah, suddenly all the Ferguson everything disappears, and then suddenly when a referee decision works for us, suddenly the whole 20-year history of Man United comes forward.
Robbie, let's be honest. That one.
I mean, if wait one sec, Sundar, you know what? If you had used that much of salt on your steak when you cooked, I think it would have turned out to be much better than what you already cooked. Rather than wasting it on United fans.
Good job. I'm vegetarian. I don't eat steak. So
for you, it's the dal makhani, isn't it? The dal makhani and the paneer. The dal makhani and the
Watching
paneer.
my cholesterol, Robbie. What are you doing?
Jashman, give me your starting 11 and your predicted score, man.
Listen, real quick before I go into the starting 11, man, they're talking about their little brothers, bro. You're the same guys. Now, not saying nothing. They had the opportunity to stop them from this trouble. You know, that's like watching your brother come against that final hurdle, being like, listen, I got to prove this point to him.
But Broski, respectfully, did they do something that we've not done before, or did they match what I've already done?
Listen, they matched what you did, but you're not supposed to let them do it to you.
So
actually,
in the record
technically, they did do something he didn't do. They won the Super Cup. They won the Super Cup after the treble.
But no,
so now we're reading the Super Cup as well.
You remember that game?
Oh my days.
Not Arsenal fans.
But listen, though. But I think our starting lineup, if I'm going to go, I really want to see Raya on goal. I'm not going to lie, because I feel like that Ramsdale goal from the last game, I think that was as much as it was a soccer issue, because he just blindly passed the ball, I think that was also a goalkeeping error, because I don't know what the hell he's doing. Kinda. I'm not going to say it was really a goalkeeping error. I feel like it was. But Ramsdale to go. I'm not going to hate on him. Ramsdale, I'm torn. I don't know what. Fuck it. Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Rice, Odegaard, obviously. Havertz. He's gonna start Havertz. I'm sorry, he is
in midfield.
In midfield, I can see him starting Havertz. Saka on the right, obviously. Martinelli on the left, and then Nketiah up top. If we're going on merit, but knowing him, he's probably going to slot Jesus back up top.
Wait, has Bellingham joined Monaco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys actually let him go. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think what was the sell-on clause? Didn't we have a sell-on clause or something?
It was originally rumored to be 15%. They actually managed to do a last-minute deal with Monaco, and they bumped it up to 17.5. So if he goes for what I think he's gonna go for, because I said this yesterday in the video that I put out, obviously talking about the whole signings and players that have left the club, i.e. Tierney, Nuno Tavares and Balogun. So I was speaking about it, and I genuinely see Balogun in the next 2 years either back in the Premier League with one of the Premier League giants, or either going to Spain and being with the giants over there, either Real Madrid or Barcelona. I genuinely see him. I see potential in that kid. I think he's gonna go places, man. It's gonna be crazy. So I truly believe we're making our money back and then some with this setup.
Wait, so if that's the case, then Arteta doesn't have a talent ID then?
No,
No,
I think,
it's just one of those things, bro. He's not gonna get any real game time. He's not.
I think Nketiah
I had
just
to put it
By
that
the way,
shit.
before
Yeah,
you
you
ask
had
that
to do it,
question,
Robbie. You had to do it.
that accusation is firmly and only firmly at Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Arteta and
That
showing
man-
he
that
has
man-
talent ID.
Yeah.
So
That
Robbie,
man is talent
I
ID,
like that
bro.
you're trying to deflect, but you just gave us a load.
He's trying to use the
Right.
Havertz scouting network.
Oh yeah.
What he's trying to do.
Jasmine, what was your predicted? Did you give your predicted score?
No, I haven't done that yet.
No, he didn't.
Oh, Bosky,
United missing Lindesoft in the back line.
Lindelof, yeah. Watch what you say, yeah. Watch what you say. This is being recorded.
I don't know who's going to be in that left back. Probably the low or right back at left back. So I'm thinking Bruno's going to be on that right wing. We already know that. They're going to play the worst midfield, worse than
Jashmon, prediction. You don't have to tell us our team. We know our team.
Thing. If I'm being generous here.
Oh, generous. Okay.
Generous.
I forget all of that. I don't want your generosity.
Nah, he took 5
No,
minutes.
I don't want
just to say a
generosity,
prediction.
bro.
Just
I get
be
there's a cost of
savage if you
living,
need
but I
to,
don't want the
bro.
generosity.
Nah,
Tell
he
me the
takes.
truth.
He's taking 5 minutes to say a prediction. Where's all that chest that he was talking about when we came to United fans?
You're about to get the chest, Robbie. Listen,
Nah,
I think we're generous because we give goals away at the Emirates. So you guys will score one. I will give you that. The end score line will be, I'm saying it's going to be like a 4-1, 5-1. You guys are going to get
Okay, thank you.
You guys get mauled.
4-1, 5-1.
You guys are going to score because we can't keep clean sheet.
I cannot remember the last time Arsenal scored 4 past Man United, but
Yeah, exactly.
Lie.
I remember the last time we scored. I remember the last time we scored more than 4. I remember the last time we scored more than 4 against you guys. I think it was 8-2.
Real quick, I'm gonna be honest before we. The reason I'm saying that is because you guys can see for fun when you sit low against worse or more, worse opposition. You guys can see. You guys still do that. So even throwing it in, realistically, you guys will either play McTominay or Eriksen. Either or, you're fucked. In that midfield battle, I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's out the picture. Your hope is to hoof it long, and hopefully you don't have Veghorst to hoof it to. So now you're hoping Martial does something. And so I'm just being honest. I'm not even trying to do up a banter thing. I watched Wolves. I watched them play you off the park. You guys have gotten borderline played off the park, except Nottingham Forest. You guys, that comeback was, I'll give you guys that. But then again, they went down the pitch and dropped 2 against you at home, right, away from home. So us at home having the record we have against you guys at the Emirates, there have been times where I've genuinely watched us create chances for fun against you guys. If we just had somebody clinical, we put more than 4 past you. For instance, that De Gea game, I'm just gonna reference that. That easily should be more than we shouldn't have. First off, we shouldn't have lost that, but that it took him to break the saves record in order for you guys to walk out of there with a win, if that makes sense. Right.
Look at all this copium, Robbie. Look at all this copium.
I know. I'm just listening. When they're pumping up the inflatable chest at the moment,
so
right?
you guys already gave your predictions. How come you like sitting there commenting on our predictions, man?
Sad, I've got a bouncer. I've given my prediction. I think we're going to go with our regular back 4 that we had last season: Zinni, Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White. Ramsdale's in goal. Like, he's just one goalkeeper of just been placed in the PFA Team of the Year. So there's no way Arteta's dropping him. I think Partey goes 6, Rice, Ødegaard in the middle of the field. Then we've got Martinelli, Eddie, and obviously Saka. Saka has to be on that. You don't drop him. And for me, for prediction, I think it's going to be a 3-1. And I go into this quietly confident because I feel like whenever Arsenal Man U play, whoever's playing at home tends to win that game. Who is that? Is that Scott McTominay?
No, it's Anthony, bro. The guy who scored against you.
He might be the one who gets the goal. But to be fair to Anthony, he was actually playing pretty well. Like when you were at the Emirates last season, like, he was one of your better players, and I feel like the game shifted when he went off, and then Zinchenko had like free reign. Like Zinchenko's heat map after Anthony went off was like it's like a pepperoni pizza. Like he was like, dotted everywhere. Like it was amazing.
Also, you guys are forgetting just. I think Holland might be back as well. Against Arsenal.
Like you're not.
He could be on a bench.
Yeah, he'll hold bench it, but Ten Hag, like if it's a close game, Ten Hag might risk it because what have you got to lose? If it's the game's already gone beyond you, then all right, it's worth it. Or if you've taken the game beyond us, it might be worthwhile taking it. But it's such a high profile game. Do you want to put that on a young kid who is like there's already enough pressure on him?
But he did that. He did that for Anthony. Remember, we signed Anthony, and he just started Anthony straight away for that Arsenal game at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So you never know with these guys.
But he's coming back from an injury. Anthony wasn't coming off an injury.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And then
So
Ten Hag knew Anthony because he used him in his system.
But Holland has also been training now. So Holland has actually been training before the Nottingham Forest game. It's just that he didn't start or he wasn't on the bench. That's all. So it could be anything.
I'm gonna bounce. Sheikh, Robbie, I will see you boys on Sunday. Enough respect.
So Rashid, let's just quickly get yours and then we'll do mine quick and then we'll get out of it.
Yeah. Okay, so Ramsdale, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Partey, Odegaard, Rice, Saka, Nketiah, Martinelli. And the score 2-0.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go with the team that I want to go with. That's crazy.
I dare Declan Rice to drop a stinker,
bro. He won't.
He'll become a basmati rice. He'll become basmati rice against us.
Bro, you lot are crazy. Listen, I'm gonna go with Declan Rice, Ramsdale, and I'm gonna go with Ben White, Zinchenko, Saliba, Gabriel. I'm gonna go with a midfield three of Odegaard, Partey, and Declan Rice, and I'm gonna go with a front three of Saka, Martinelli, and I'll give Nketiah another game. I would personally give him another game, and I think you guys will score. I think it's going to be 3-1 as well. Also, I think we will win it by 2 goals, but I feel like you guys will score. I feel like Rashford's going to get his annual, Emirates goal, man. And this guy always scores there, man. It's either him or that bum, that rat. Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes.
Forget about Bruno Fernandes. What's his name? The guy with the moonwalk, man.
Lingard. Bro, he's a free agent right now.
Nah, man. Ain't nobody want him, man. He stinks up the gaff. But yeah, that's mine. But yeah, listen, thank you very much for joining me, guys. Appreciate it. We're looking forward to the game, and I'm so gassed. I'm so happy. I'm so excited, bro, to see what happens in that game because that's going to be the first big game that we play. Obviously, if we're taking away the Community Shield. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, guys. Guys in the comments, thank you very much for commenting today. Appreciate you for watching this live live stream with me and the boys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification. Make sure you hit that so you're notified every time I make a video or a live stream. And thank you very much for tuning in with us. I'll see you later on the next video. I love you. Come on, you Gunners. Bye.